Aging is often spoken of as an inevitable decline, a slow loss of function that we must passively accept. But what if that's not true? What if weak legs, cramps, instability in walking, and growing fear of falls are not just part of normal aging, but symptoms of a deeper issue, a nutritional deficiency that is preventable, even reversible? The truth is, our legs do not betray us. It's our habits and the lack of cellular support that lead to this breakdown. Age-related declines in muscle strength, balance, and mobility are often the direct result of micronutrient deficiencies, particularly a small yet critical one, vitamin D. Commonly referred to as the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D's importance in bone health has been known for decades. But recent studies show its crucial role in neuromuscular coordination and inflammation control. Randomized trials, including a 2020 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, found that serum levels of 25-hydroxyvitamin D above 30 mdl are strongly linked with greater leg muscle density, lower sarcopenia rates, improved balance, and 20 to 30% reduced fall risk. How to increase vitamin D? 1. Direct sunlight exposure to the skin. Prioritize arms, legs, and face for 15 to 30 minutes daily, without sunscreen during this time to allow UVB absorption. Ideal time is between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., depending on skin type and geography. 2. Eat vitamin D-rich foods such as fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, cod liver oil, eggs, dairy, and fortified cereals. However, diet alone is often insufficient, especially for older adults. 3. Use vitamin D3, cholecalciferol supplements. Maintenance levels should be 800 to 2,000 IU daily. Higher doses may be prescribed by a physician in cases of deficiency. Intramuscular injections may be needed for those with absorption disorders or after gastric surgery. Blood tests for 25-OHD are recommended to monitor effectiveness. Aim for serum levels between 30-50 IL. Combine with weight-bearing exercise for optimal skeletal and muscular benefits. Calcium, the essential foundation for strong bones, muscular function, and freedom of movement. Calcium has long been recognized as the primary building block of our bones, but its role goes far beyond structural support. It is vital for nearly every movement we make, especially in the legs. As we age, the steady decline in bone mass and muscular responsiveness becomes a central challenge to maintaining independence, stability, and safety. In older adults, calcium deficiency doesn't just result in brittle bones. It silently erodes muscle coordination, postural strength, and energy transfer, which are critical for daily mobility tasks like standing up, climbing stairs, or walking long distances. Unlike in younger individuals whose bones are constantly remodeling, seniors experience a net loss in bone mass, making fractures more likely even with minor falls. This is especially dangerous for weight-bearing areas like the hips and femur, regions that, when fractured, often result in permanent mobility loss. Calcium also serves as an electrical switch at the muscular level. Every step, shift in balance, or push off the ground depends on calcium ion channels triggering muscle fibers to contract. When calcium levels drop, those signals become inefficient, leading to sluggish movement, muscle cramps, and weakness, especially in the legs. A clinical study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology observed that low calcium serum levels were directly associated with slower walking speed, reduced leg endurance, and increased difficulty in basic motor tasks among individuals over 60. Moreover, calcium's synergy with vitamin D is crucial. Even if calcium intake is sufficient, without adequate vitamin D, the intestines cannot absorb calcium effectively, leading to wasted intake and continued bone loss. In cases of chronic deficiency, the body initiates secondary hyperparathyroidism, a condition in which the parathyroid glands release excessive hormone, PTH, to maintain blood calcium levels by pulling it out from bones. Over time, this depletes bone mineral content, making legs more fragile and vulnerable. The consequences extend beyond skeletal health. Low calcium is linked to impaired neuromuscular function, reduced cardiovascular performance, and chronic fatigue. Unfortunately, many older adults do not realize they are deficient until after a fall or fracture has occurred. Tight. How to increase calcium effectively. 1. Diversify calcium-rich foods in your diet. This includes dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, leafy greens, kale, bok choy, fortified plant-based milk, almonds, tofu, and sardines with bones. Variety enhances absorption and minimizes gastrointestinal issues. 2. Pair calcium intake with vitamin D. Vitamin D improves calcium absorption in the intestines and ensures it is effectively deposited into bones. Aim for a calcium D combo if using supplements. 3. Consider calcium supplements when necessary. For those with lactose intolerance, dietary limitations, or malabsorption, a supplement providing 500 to 600 milligrams per dose, not exceeding 1,200 mg, is advised. Calcium citrate is better absorbed than calcium carbonate, especially for individuals with lower stomach acid. 4. Engage in weight-bearing exercises. Activities like walking, resistance training, or light aerobics stimulate bone growth and help direct calcium into the skeletal system. Without exercise, calcium is less likely to be utilized efficiently. 5. Get periodic testing and professional guidance. Monitor calcium levels, especially if you have kidney issues, cardiovascular disease, or a history of kidney stones. Excess calcium, especially from oversupplementation, can be harmful if not managed properly. In discussions about leg strength and fall prevention among the elderly, vitamin B12 is often overlooked. Yet it is one of the most essential nutrients that determine the capacity for nerve transmission, body reflexes, and accurate motor control. Vitamin B12 does not directly increase muscle mass or strengthen bones, but it is indispensable for the peripheral nervous system, which connects the brain and limbs. When B12 is deficient, signal transmission from the brain to the legs is disrupted, leading to numbness, loss of motor control, and over time, muscle atrophy and gait instability. A classic sign of vitamin B12 deficiency is a sensation of heavy legs, fatigue during movement, sometimes accompanied by tingling, prickling, or numbness in the limbs, and even impaired proprioception, making the patient prone to falls without clear causes. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low levels of vitamin B12 are directly associated with reduced motor function, poor balance, and an increased risk of falls in people over 65. The mechanism of this condition is that B12 is needed to produce the myelin sheath, a protective coating around nerves. When deficient, electrical impulses leak or slow down, weakening reflexes and reducing sensitivity in motor organs like the legs. B12 also supports red blood cell production, helping deliver oxygen to the muscles. Anemia caused by B12 deficiency leads to leg fatigue, poor endurance, and a sensation of heaviness and weakness, even with light physical activity. What is noteworthy is that B12 deficiency is very common among the elderly, but often goes undetected. Unlike fat-soluble vitamins, B12 is water-soluble, not stored long-term, and entirely dependent on digestive absorption. In seniors, the production of stomach acid and intrinsic factor, both essential for absorbing B12, declines. Conditions such as chronic gastritis, reflux, H. pylori infection, or prolonged use of acid-reducing medications PPIs, significantly impair the absorption of B12 from food. Unlike other vitamins that can be supplemented through vegetables, B12 is found only in animal-derived foods such as meat, fish, eggs, dairy, liver, and shellfish. Vegetarians, the elderly, and individuals with digestive disorders are at the highest risk of deficiency. If not detected and treated early, B12 deficiency can cause irreversible nerve damage, leading to cognitive decline, limb tremors, and loss of muscle coordination, an extremely dangerous outcome for balance and mobility. The good news is that B12 is a very safe vitamin to supplement, and as excess is excreted through urine. Most B12 deficiency cases show significant improvement within a few weeks of proper dosing, with improved muscle strength, sensation, flexibility, and confidence in walking. How to supplement vitamin B12. 1. Increase B12-rich foods. Includes lean red meat, beef liver, salmon, tuna, eggs, milk, cheese, and shellfish like clams and oysters. For seniors, prioritize easily digestible, thoroughly cooked foods and pair them with vegetables to aid digestion. 2. Use B12-fortified foods. Breakfast cereals, plant-based milk, or vegetarian products today are often fortified with synthetic B12. These are good options for those who don't eat meat or have trouble absorbing B12 from animal sources. 3. Take oral or sublingual supplements. For individuals with poor intestinal absorption, sublingual tablets can absorb directly into the bloodstream. Maintenance doses range from 2 to 50 cc and 500 mcg day, while therapeutic doses can reach up to 1,000 mcg/day as prescribed. 4. Receive regular B12 injections. In severe deficiency cases, or in those with gastric conditions, intramuscular B12 injections once a week for the first 1-2 months may be necessary, followed by monthly maintenance or according to the doctor's schedule. 5. Have regular blood tests. B12 levels should be checked periodically, especially in those with prolonged fatigue, imbalance, limb numbness, or memory decline. Serum B12 levels should be maintained above 400 pg/ml to ensure proper neurological function. Magnesium, the key to muscle regulation, cramp relief, and energy restoration in the legs. While calcium and vitamin D are often the first to be mentioned when discussing bone strength, magnesium is the silent yet essential factor in maintaining muscle activity, especially in the legs. Magnesium acts as a neuromuscular coordinator, helping signals from the brain to the legs transmit smoothly, regulating muscle contraction and relaxation, and maintaining stability with every step. When magnesium is deficient, the body is prone to involuntary muscle spasms, often appearing as nighttime leg cramps, twitching in the calves, or persistent tingling and soreness. Many seniors mistake these symptoms as natural aging, but in reality, it is due to disrupted nerve signaling from magnesium deficiency. A study published in the Journal of Muscle Research and Cell Motility found that individuals with low blood magnesium levels often had prolonged post-exercise recovery times, greater muscle fatigue, and a higher incidence of cramping. Beyond muscle function, magnesium is essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the production of ATP, the primary energy molecule for all biological activity. A lack of magnesium not only weakens leg function, but also reduces overall vitality, making individuals feel drained even after simple activities like walking, climbing stairs, or standing for extended periods. Magnesium also plays a crucial role in calcium metabolism, ensuring calcium is delivered to bones rather than deposited in soft tissue. Without magnesium, even with adequate calcium and vitamin D intake, the body cannot effectively utilize these minerals. Research from the British Journal of Nutrition shows that people with higher dietary magnesium have greater bone density, less joint pain, and better balance compared to those with lower intake. Magnesium deficiency is very common. particularly among older adults taking diuretics, blood pressure medications, acid blockers, or consuming diets low in vegetables, seeds, and whole grains. Chronic stress is also a major contributor to magnesium loss. When magnesium is deficient over time, not only is muscular strength compromised, but the entire neuromusculoskeletal axis deteriorates, reducing recovery capacity, stability, and increasing the risk of falls. How to supplement magnesium. Add magnesium-rich foods. Include nuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, sesame, whole grains, oats, brown rice, legumes, black beans, green beans, dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, bananas, and avocados. A diverse diet ensures optimal absorption. 2. Limit magnesium-depleting foods. Avoid excessive refined sugar, processed foods, caffeine, alcohol, and prolonged use of acid blockers or diuretics, as these reduce magnesium reserves. 3. Use magnesium supplements when necessary. Magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are the most absorbable forms. Recommended intake is 200-400 mg a day. Avoid magnesium oxide due to poor absorption and potential laxative effect. 4. Combine with light daily movement. Activities like walking, yoga, or stretching promote blood circulation to the muscles and enhance magnesium's effect on neuromuscular regulation. 5. Get medical guidance if you have underlying conditions. Individuals with kidney disease, diabetes, or digestive disorders should consult a physician to create a personalized magnesium supplementation plan. When it comes to bone health and fall prevention, calcium and vitamin D are often seen as the inseparable duo. However, without vitamin K, both of these nutrients cannot function effectively because vitamin K is the coordinator that ensures calcium is delivered to the right place. Specifically, vitamin K activates a protein called osteocalcin, which helps bind calcium to the bone matrix. Without vitamin K, calcium may deposit in the wrong locations, such as blood vessels or soft tissues, instead of bone. This not only weakens bones, but also increases the risk of atherosclerosis, soft tissue calcification, and reduced blood flow in the legs. A study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research showed that individuals with higher vitamin K levels had better bone density, fewer fractures, and improved balance, regardless of calcium supplementation. Vitamin K also plays a vital role in reducing joint inflammation, maintaining flexibility, and alleviating joint stiffness after rest. One of the reasons older adults experience numb legs and difficulty walking after waking up or sitting too long. Importantly, vitamin K also regulates intracellular calcium, an important factor in both smooth and skeletal muscle contraction. This explains why those deficient in vitamin K often feel leg weakness, poor motor coordination, and impaired balance. Vitamin K comes in two main forms: vitamin K1, phylloquinone, found mainly in green leafy vegetables, and vitamin K2, menaquinone, found in fermented foods and some animal sources. K2 remains active in the body longer and is more effective in directing calcium to bones. In older adults, vitamin K deficiency develops quietly, especially in those who eat few vegetables, have poor digestion, or use long-term antibiotics, which disrupt gut microbiota that synthesize endogenous K2. As a result, even with sufficient calcium and vitamin D, bones remain weak, joints stay painful, and legs lack the stability needed for confident movement. How to supplement vitamin K. 1. Increase intake of dark leafy greens. Vegetables like kale, spinach, Swiss chard, water spinach, and broccoli are rich in vitamin K1. Eat them fresh, steamed, or lightly sautéed to preserve vitamin content. 2. Add fermented K2-rich foods. Includes natto, nindi, fermented soybeans, aged cheese, fermented yogurt, egg yolks, liver, and duck meat. These are excellent sources of natural K2 for those with absorption challenges or who need sustained effects. 3. Combine greens with healthy fats. Since vitamin K is fat-soluble, consume greens with olive oil, sesame oil, or plant-based butter to improve absorption. Avoid eating dry raw greens or just drinking vegetable broth, as vitamin K won't be absorbed. 4. Use K2 supplements if necessary, particularly for those with chronic joint or bone conditions, post-surgery patients, or individuals being treated for osteoporosis. The MK7 form, menaquinone 7, is commonly recommended for longer retention in the body. 5. Be cautious when on anticoagulants. If taking warfarin or other Coumarin-class blood thinners, do not supplement with vitamin K without physician approval, as it may interfere with medication effectiveness or increase. Vitamin B6, neurological support, muscle recovery, and leg endurance booster. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is one of the most important micronutrients for protein metabolism, energy production in muscles, and especially for maintaining stable nerve transmission from the brain to the legs. When B6 is deficient, reflexes slow down, muscles lose sensitivity, and motor coordination declines significantly, resulting in unsteady walking, numbness in the feet, and increased risk of tripping due to disrupted nerve signaling. Many older adults mistake B6 deficiency symptoms as part of natural aging, when in fact they are signs of peripheral neuropathy caused by nutrient deficiency. Common symptoms include persistent leg fatigue, pin-pricking sensations in the soles, muscle weakness on stairs, or lack of step control. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that low vitamin B6 levels were significantly associated with reduced lower limb strength, slower walking speed, and poorer coordination in seniors. B6 also helps reduce muscle inflammation, supports post-exercise recovery, and improves leg endurance during long walks. B6 deficiency causes lactic acid to accumulate faster, leading to early fatigue, dull aches, and heavy legs after exertion. Moreover, B6 is essential for synthesizing hemoglobin, the oxygen-carrying molecule in blood. Mild anemia caused by B6 deficiency can lead to drained legs, with insufficient oxygen for endurance during walking or prolonged standing. Older adults on long-term medications such as antihypertensives, diuretics, antidepressants, or those with low-protein vegetable-poor diets are at higher risk of B6 deficiency. Like B12, B6 is water-soluble and lost through urine, requiring daily replenishment. The good news is that B6 deficiency symptoms can improve quickly if supplemented properly. Maintaining optimal B6 levels not only strengthens the legs, but also helps preserve mental clarity, prevent memory loss, and reduce insomnia in seniors. How to supplement vitamin B6. 1. Eat B6-rich foods daily. Includes chicken, salmon, tuna, eggs, potatoes, bananas, chickpeas, whole grains, and nuts, walnuts, almonds. Simple preparation, steaming, boiling, light pan frying, helps preserve the vitamin. 2. Maintain a protein-rich diet. B6 is closely linked to protein metabolism, so vegetarians or those on low-protein diets may be more deficient. Ensure adequate intake of meat, fish, eggs, or nutrient-rich plant proteins. 3. Use supplements when needed. Safe dosage for older adults typically ranges from 1.3 to 2 onions a day and can go up to 10 to 25 ml a day under medical guidance if mildly deficient. Avoid excessive doses to prevent nerve damage. 4. Combine with B12 and folic acid. The B6 B12 folate trio works together in homocysteine metabolism and nerve protection. Many supplements now combine these for comprehensive neurological support. 5. Get tested if neurological symptoms occur. If you experience chronic leg fatigue, numbness, insomnia, or memory loss, consider testing your B vitamin levels to adjust your diet and supplementation accordingly. Aging is not a sentence condemning us to weakness, imbalance, or dependence on others to walk. In truth, many symptoms we assume are inevitable with age, like nighttime cramps, weak legs, hand tremors, or lack of foot sensitivity, are often the result of years of silent micronutrient deficiencies. Modern science has proven that proper supplementation of key vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, calcium, vitamin B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin B6, can reverse much of the functional decline seen in the elderly. We cannot stop time, but we can slow the degeneration process through awareness and proactive internal health care. Starting with the simplest foundation: proper nutrition. Strong legs don't come from luck. They come from consistent nutrition, committed movement, and mindful listening to your body each day. If you're seeking to regain your confidence in every step, start today. Don't wait for a fall to think about calcium or for paralysis to remember B12. Proactive choices today grant you the freedom of movement tomorrow. Healthy legs don't just take you farther. They carry you to moments of peace, freedom, and independence throughout your life journey.